Hello, and welcome to a video that's almost a year in the making. I've been working on this project since, I want to say maybe late 2019, and it's about 2021 at the time of this video going out, so yeah. I started this project back when I was really into character design, and I finished it when I started getting into character animation, so it kinda goes all over the place. But what you're seeing right now is me working on designing the character itself. While designing this character, I decided that they should be named Juno, because I don't know, it just fits. Juno has no backstory and nothing connecting them to any of my other characters or worlds that I've created in my time as an artist, and they're mostly just an expression of a specific style that I wanted to attempt. I wanted to create something that was unlike anything else that I'd ever done before. As you can see here, at one point I thought I was going to do a whole cast of characters, and I experimented a bit with some sketches to see what that might look like, but I decided eventually that I just wanted to focus on this one character. And initially I had done a full body design for this character, and I still have that file as well. But when I got around to animating it, I decided that I only wanted to work with like the waist up, because I thought it would make it easier for me as a beginner first-time animator to actually work with this character model. Most of the time, what people mean when they say character model is that they are working with a 3D model that they're going to rig. But I learned recently that you can also rig 2D models. So I can take this two-dimensional painting and I can rig it with a specific program and create an animation using it. And normally I've been working a lot in After Effects to animate 2 dimensions, but I thought that it would be especially interesting if I tried animating this specific character in Character Animator. Because Character Animator specializes in animating 2D characters and now 3D characters. And it's also very good for rigging characters for live animation, which is like live streaming, like VTubers, which is really exciting. As you can see in this video, actually, I'm using the rig that I created and the final product right here. But this is the process behind creating that rig. And honestly, as a first-timer, it wasn't that difficult. I used a lot of how-to guides, and I watched a lot of tutorials, and I used a lot of pre-made things. Like, all of the rigging for this character is actually a blank rigging that you can get on the Adobe website, because I just wanted to see how it worked. I wanted to see what it took to make a character move before I try to do it myself, because it's a very daunting task. At this point, there's just a lot of painting to do. As you can see, it looks like nothing's happening, and that's because I'm working in very small details. At this point, I'm deciding what details I want to add to the piece and how I want to do things. Like, as you can see here, I tried to add a crown because I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if I added some kind of weird crown to it to maybe brush through the curls of his hair and add some interest to the head. But eventually I think I decided that I did not want to add it because I thought it added too much to the design and took away from the overall aesthetic. I also added a weird connecting brooch at one point. I wanted to create a little thing to connect the 2 sides of the cape, but I ultimately decided that this would be difficult to animate at my current skill level and took it out. The more detail I add, the more it comes together, and I really wanted to go for like a royal clown look, I guess. It's really hard to describe exactly what the design was going into this. I kind of just threw whatever I thought would look good onto it and created an amalgamation. And there goes the crown. At this point, I'm filling in all the gaps in the assets, which is when the head moves back and forth, will the collar clip with it, or do I need to fill out the collar in the back so that when the head moves, it doesn't look like there's nothing behind it, or the collar just abruptly stops? And these are all things that give the illusion of depth and a 3D appearance. So what I'm doing right now is I'm checking all of the layers to make sure that nothing is clipping over anything else or isn't filling out under anything else, and I'm making sure that all of the individual pieces look good on their own before I put them in with the whole. And this just ensures that when I move it to being 3D animated, or not 3D animated, rigged, when I move the asset to being... Words are hard, guys, I'm not gonna lie. When I move the model to being rigged in Character Animator, it's going to be smooth and perfect, and I don't need to go back and change anything. At this point, I'm adding multiple eye and mouth shapes because I need to make sure that when this goes into Character Animator, I can fill out all of the necessary assets for mouth movements and eye movements, which include vowel sounds and general face things that people make when they move around, because the way Character Animator works is that it tracks your facial expressions and it maps them to the character's rigging, and it uses the position of your head and your face and eyes and mouth and stuff to determine how the character moves. So this weird thing that's happening right now is that I'm testing all of the layers individually and exporting them individually. And this was back in 2020 when I was doing the first version of this rigging, which required Live 2D, which I ended up scrapping because Live 2D, although I learned how to use it, I did not like using it. So instead I ended up using Character Animator. And that was pretty much the end of the design process. After that, I stuck it into Character Animator and I made this. And this is what I have now. This was probably the easiest project, even though it took around 1.5 years, maybe 2 years to work on. That was mostly because I had no idea what I was doing and I had to trudge through all the stuff that I didn't understand to get to here. But now that I'm here, it's kind of like getting to the top of the mountain. I can look down and see everything below me, and I know what to do now. So if I tried this in the future, it might only take a week or a month to do. But that's if I did it the way I did now. Should I work on any more projects like this in the future, I will most likely create my own rigging and create more facial expressions, maybe move on to hand movements and arm movements, which I did not choose to do before, because hand movements hard, guys. Like, adding extra expressions and stuff, that's difficult. But I think that's a challenge that I'm willing to take up. If you thought this video was informative or interesting, or you just like my little guy here, if you like Juno, let me know, comment, and like it, and, you know, get that algorithm moving. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure me from 2018 would appreciate it too. And if you want to see more videos about using Character Animator to rig things and creating stuff like this, let me know. I'm by no means a professional, but I'm learning, and creating videos like this helps me learn a lot, so I appreciate having you there to help critique my work and tell me what I'm doing right or wrong or whatever. Yeah. Goodbye!